in making an effort to refute the mistaken idea that logic isn't necessary for Buddhist practice, points to specific instances in which Lord Buddha himself uses logic and reasoning to highlight that logic and reasoning are indeed necessary for Buddhist practice. What famous verse is used to highlight reasoning, which is used to prove the absence of something that is not visible to a normal human being? Give the verse in both English and Tibetan. Also give the name of the reasoning in Tibetan.
Can we see your pretty face, or is the video not working today?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Nice background. We're just stalling.
Let's see.
I see. Well, you guys know it's from course 4.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I know what it is.
I mean, it's like everybody memorizes it.
Right?
Totally.
Got it.
I or someone like myself can judge another, but no one else should judge another, or they would surely fall.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay. Somebody else? Give me the Tibetan. But besides Nick, I know Nick knows it because.
I just started saying it.
Anybody else? All right. Yeah, man. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I don't know the whole thing, but thanks for making me look smart. Gadang Jawa. I don't know how to say judge another. Shen.
I know we both had it memorized back at in Sarah. Like I know we both had it.
Yeah, we did.
Ngam Natang Drawe, Kansaki Tsusungi, Kansaki. Here we go.
I remember
one.
Cool.
So in another extremely famous verse, Lord Buddha urges us to never accept anything he says merely out of respect, but instead to prove it to ourselves using logic. What metaphor does Lord Buddha use to emphasize how we should examine even his teachings? Furthermore, correlate each element of this metaphor to one of the 3 types of tema. Provide the Tibetan phrase for the metaphor in question. Also give the 3 types of accurate perception in both Sanskrit and Tibetan.
Can I answer a few of those, not all of them?
Yeah, totally. Group project.
Right. So this is where we're talking about cutting or melting, cutting, and filing, right? Or melting.
burning, cutting, and filing.
Burning, cutting, filing, yes.
Yeah.
And the burning relates to direct perception, sema, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Direct. Yeah.
Momentum.
And then we have, what are the other 2 again?
Second one you said.
Cutting.
Deduction, or what do you call it? Logical deduction.
Clear thinking.
Clear thinking, right?
Yeah. J-Pak and Loom, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Loom
Yeah.
Yeah. Which two do they refer to in the metaphor?
J-Pak Tsema is cutting, right? And Lungi Tsema is rubbing or filing or whatever.
Yeah, totally. And does anybody have the Sanskrit? Like I know, like Munsum. Pratyaksha.
Jakshanumana.
Yeah. And then I figured that one could get the juices rolling. The other 2 are like Anima.
Wasn't that all 3 of them you just gave?
Yeah.
Agama, famous.
All right. So yeah, those are kind of like hefty questions. So I only put 2 in there.
Yay.
Cool.
Awesome homework questions, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So Geshla, you there?
Hi, yeah, am I on?
You take.
Is that Nicholas Rourke? Is that Rourke? Is that a Rourke painting? Nick?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. It's just some like, I used it for a slide for a Nagarjuna talk I gave, and then I thought it would be a fun background.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Looks like Rorik.
it does look like Rourke's painting.
Perhaps.
Okay, here we go. Let me see here. Share my screen. Duh. Okay, I think this is it. Am I right, Adam?
Yeah. I put the table of contents at the beginning if you wanted to check it out.
Let me see if I got the right. Yeah, this is yours. Okay, so you guys, me and Adam noticed that Caleb J started saying Sinto, She Sinto, meaning, oh, I finished that section, now I'm going on to the next section. So we thought it would be nice to track, to make a table of contents, a pre-table of contents that would help us know, how does Caleb J, it's almost like Caleb J's outline. And that would help us to know where we are in his commentary. And so I asked Adam to go ahead and create a pre-table of contents based on those little notes where Caleb J says, I finished this topic, now I'm going on to the next topic. So I thought it would take him about 6 months to do it. He did it in 1 week or 2 days or something. So let's go look at it, you guys. I haven't looked at it yet. I like that picture of Caleb J, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You also pointed out that the MAPA, you could search for MAPA to find the poetic kind of interludes, and I could only find I think three verses, and
Okay, it's
so it didn't really pan out.
Par Kapkitsig. Par Kapkitsig means an interlude, a poetic interlude. Okay, and this is a tradition for big lamas. They might write a little poem about the section they just finished. Okay. Wow, you did a lot. Oh my God. Okay. How many are there, Adam?
4 books. I think there are 13 chapters in the first book, 13 chapters in the second, 22 in the third. Yeah, 19 in the last one.
Okay, so Adam's translation is going to be divided up into 4 books, so we don't have to wait 20 years to see it. And we can already tell you some of the topics that Caleb J is promising to cover. These 2 are preliminary debates, so I'm going to skip those. This really starts with number 4.
How would you translate the Noche?
Which one? Shitsen?
Noche. I was trying to look at it, and
Noche means arguments against something. Okay.
it worked against it. Yeah. Okay.
It just means arguments against something. Yeah. So Chitsen he's gonna so just so you guys know where Caleb J is going after he defends the use of logic, one of the first big subject he's gonna cover is Chitsen. What's that?
Archetypes. Generals.
Yeah, archetypes, definition, and if you're sensitive, you can see the structure of the Dura in this 600-year-old text. Yeah.
Is this specifically just the definition of archetypes, or is this definitions and archetypes?
To tell you the truth, I don't know till we get there, but we'll get there. Then he's gonna color specific. What do you call it, Wrong 10? Specific
Manifestation of the archetype. Yeah.
Yeah, of a principle. Something about gross objects. Okay, we don't know what that is. Then he's going to treat the two realities, and this is probably, I don't know, something about the continuation of a gross object. Then he's going to talk about attachment to things as outer objects, which is a popular topic of the mind-only school. Then he's going to talk about why things can't be objects of sense consciousness, and then why things can be objects of the mind. So anyway, those are those main subjects we're going to cover in the first book. Okay, and that's a good. We'll modify. We'll perfect the table contents as we go. Okay, but it was a big job. What's that?
Can we read just a bit of this that interlude there?
Okay, if you really want to.
I just wanted to kind of see.
One for fun.
Yeah.
We'll read one for fun. Okay. I haven't read it yet, but I'll take a shot at it. Okay, we can start out with the last line. You want to read it, Adam?
Yeah, I'll try to. Mepa chika namke kyungkod pang gukap sikpe ho ka ni ratsumba lompang ke yana dina mikes.
This ratsum is tsum. Okay.
Mount, yeah.
No, okay, good.
Dinamikesu shiyin kelche not kimun kung na nime ule me kerchen tu dang junshin gepe sar mengi nyuku la min barkat gitsik tu chepo.
Okay. There's something wrong here. Okay, I'll give you the sense of it. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. Chi kap namge king kordang. The mandala, meaning the disk of the blue sky, which covers our earth. Okay, which covers all of us. Okay, the what do you call it? It's in a forest, a canopy. Okay, the canopy of the sky. Okay, the canopy of the sky which covers all of us, and little mini canopies. Okay, good means personal canopies, such as holes in a wall, which could meaning windows or karkun, chimneys. Okay, holes in a wall. Tsumbar lombang. If you thought that the two, I'm sorry, if you thought that these two, the canopy of this blue sky above and the little holes you find in walls, okay, and then the two refers to those two. And now, if somehow you thought these two were equivalent, if you had that kind of, what do you call it? Delusion, okay? If that would make someone a wise man, okay, then where could you find a Mike?
an unlearned one, an unlearned.
Yeah, I'll say it here. I'll say it a little more poetically. If you think that believing that the canopy of the sky above us and holes in the wall are equivalent, if you have that delusion, and if having that delusion is what makes you a wise man, excuse me, where could we find a fool? Okay, then where would you find a fool? Okay, meaning it's a foolish idea. Okay, and this is the four kinds of space. It's a reference to the four kinds of space. We taught it in DCI. It's all about the misperception that the blue sky is empty space, is the space where the second husband is standing. Okay, and other people say no, it's the space between two objects, like a hole in the wall, you know. And he says, if you think that's what empty space is or emptiness is, if thinking that would make you a wise man, then excuse me, it'd be hard to find a fool. Okay, Nick.
Just a word question. Chikyap, you were translating as covers us all, and that word usually just means like general. Is that common that chi could just mean like everything or?
Yeah, I'll tell you why I translate it that way, because it's part of a pair. What's the other half of the pair in this verse?
Gilcor? The
Gur.
ground. Oh,
Gur. You see,
Good.
the general cover and the specific cover in specific locations. You see, these two are being juxtaposed. Okay, he's juxtaposing these two. You know, there's the cap that covers all of us, and then there's the little caps that are hanging around like the holes in walls, and it's a reference to misperceptions of what is empty space. Okay, and deep in a deeper sense, a reference to what is emptiness, confused with empty space, confused with the sky, confused with the space between objects. Okay, and he's brilliantly referring to it. Okay, I don't know what Kalchen. I think it's misspelled, but I can't think of what it should be right now. But the verse is clear otherwise. Naki Munkungna, in the darkness of a forest at night, right? Even the light of the sun can only trickle down like a firefly's shine. Okay. When you're talking about a place, okay, these two lines can be understood from Seiji's text. Okay. When you're talking about a place which has been overrun by poisonous plants, it's a little difficult to find medicinal shoots ripening in a situation like that. If the sunlight never reaches this place, and therefore weeds have taken over, how can you expect arura, mirabolin, or similar natural medicines to grow there? Okay, what's that mean? What's the darkness here of the forest? It's the mind of a guy who doesn't understand the difference between the four kinds of space. Okay, it's the mind of a guy who doesn't understand the difference between the four kinds of space. Okay, so you know, in the darkness of your mind, and I'm sending you my little commentary like a firefly in the Amazon. One firefly in the Amazon, my commentary I'm sending to your mind. But, you know, how can we expect anything to grow but weeds? You know, we're not going to get any medicinal plants growing. Okay, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there.
It's okay.
I assume there's just been a discussion of the four kinds of space or something. All
I
right,
see.
let's get to work. Let's get to work. No more playing around.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for doing that. I was just a little
Thank you. It's kind of
curious.
Now, did you look up the burning, cutting, and filing? Can you tell us which is which?
I can't tell you which one is which definitively. I found two quotations that could fit, and I was hoping you could tell me which one fit better.
These the quotations? Okay.
Yeah.
Adam, could you email me a copy of this file, please?
Yeah. Did I? I thought I just forwarded it to you.
Great, got it, thank you.
I think the quotation you found is fine, is good, Adam. Assuming he's keeping the same order, he says burning, cutting, and filing. Then he says direct perception, deduction, and credible authority.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that we can just leave it like that. That's the correlation. Okay.
Jamia shape, so I figured that's pretty reliable.
And I think, Jamia Shep is good because he has a close relationship to your other author. Your other author wrote his biography. The author of your Dura text, saying Awantashi, wrote he was the main disciple of Jamia Shepa. So it's kind of appropriate that you're using Jamia Shepa. All right. Let's see if this book concurs.
This is I thought it was a stotra, and I couldn't figure out if it was composed. Never mind. I figured out it was it's songs of praise to Jetson Kappa. So
okay. He doesn't give it here, but I'm satisfied with the other one. Okay, here we go. Please read this verse, and Ellie's gonna check you. Yay, Ellie.
Ume tencha la jupe le kyang. So kewa nam ni to be jing. Jing. Mi to nam jorpa min dro gyurwe. To nam lopar gyurpa kan yente. Nam par chupe de bor ke nam sum. She sum la.
No mistakes.
Now, why do I say he's playing? Why do I say he's playing in the first line? Anybody want to guess? It should be a $30 question. Now word will wake up.
He says entering Umala Jukpa, like he says he uses juk to refer to Umala Jukpa.
No, I'll give it to you. It's too hard. Most people don't realize that the book by Chandakirti, his most famous book called Entering the Middle Way, that the middle way he's referring to is the book of Nagarjuna, is Nagarjuna's wisdom. Okay, it's not that he's entering into a discussion of the philosophical middle way. He wants you to enter into Nagarjuna's wisdom, which he calls the Shastra of the middle way. Okay, so Kedriv's showing off that he knows what the name of Chandakirti's book really means, which not a lot of people understand.
So I think it's kind of what we're saying, right?
Yeah, so he's showing off that he knows what Madhyamaka avatar means, and it means Madhyamaka Shastra avatar. Okay, entering the book on the middle way, the mother book on the middle way. It's not entering the philosophy of the middle way. Okay, cool. Yeah. He's just showing off. Okay, now translate the first line. You can do it. You can do it. Ching means chained.
From ordinary beings, ordinary beings are chained by their misunderstanding or by their
perfect.
Yeah.
No, stick with misunderstanding. I like it. All right, the
Okay.
wrong idea. You can say wrong ideas. Okay. Now, nail jars, they nito, and so they drill. Nail jar pa.
Yeah. So it's yoga.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I like to say master practitioner for this usage. Okay, yogin,
Okay.
nail jar pas, master practitioners, they nito. They don't have that topa.
They don't have conception. They don't.
Yeah, they don't have misperception. Therefore, they get to drulwa, namdro.
Liberation.
Yeah, they get to liberation. Okay. Learning to stop your topas. Okay. Learning to stop your topas is itself a result of number chupa.
Okay. Learning to stop.
Those misperceptions
Yeah, learning how to stop misperceptions is a result of using logic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Who said that? The wise. The wise.
Yeah.
The wise said that. Okay. The wise said that. So let's say the whole thing in one sentence. Okay. Normal people are chained to samsara by their misunderstanding the husband in the kitchen. Master practitioners, they stopped their misunderstanding the husband in the kitchen and they got free. Okay. Now, how do you stop those misperceptions? Well, you just study logic. That's what the wise say. Okay. So don't tell me what.
Don't tell me that logic, they don't employ logic.
Yeah, don't tell me logic is stupid or logic is just for scientists or something like that. Okay.
I'm having trouble with forming that second line. For some reason, the Miljorpa, he says master practitioner, like yogin, you're right, but the mitok, non-conceptual. So
yeah, it means mitope Miljorpa. Okay, mitope. He's got its verse, it's poetry, so he doesn't have any choice. He had to make it short. Okay, yogis who don't misperceive things, they get free. But the only way to not misperceive things is to study logic. Okay.
Sorry, I was still hung up on that one.
Yeah, it just means guys who don't topa. Okay, misperceive. Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we went and got it. I think it's exactly this thing. Oh no, he changed the third line. No, it's the same. Yeah. Okay. Chicky Jida. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. By the way, he has a discussion in here which seems to say if you start with faith and you add to it logic, then you become a follower. Sorry. No, this is different. Don't worry about it. Okay. I was just playing with it. Okay,
Actually,
let's go
there is a
see
difference
here.
between the two. The one that you've got a
Between what two?
quotation of spells DPYOD, where up above it's SPYOD.
Oh, that's an excellent observation. Yeah, that's actually more correct. Okay. Yeah, that's actually more correct. And we translated it as logic. Okay, I read it as DP, but it did say SP. Yeah, this is more correct. More correct. Okay. All right. Let's read this one, Adam. Go for it.
Rikpa mi ten par sik sam ki Jesu dranwa. Dat wambo tupo depe Jesu dranwa she pak pe kansa kam chela drak pe jir.
Okay, let's stop there. Let's stop there. Rikpa lami tembar. If you don't rely on what?
Logic,
Yeah.
reasoning.
And if you just follow what somebody sick,
Yeah, what somebody else writes or says. You know.
that's pretty much the definition of a wambo tupo person.
A dull intellect, right?
Yeah, dull intellect person. And we refer to them as depe jendang.
Yeah, followers of faith. Right?
Yeah, people who follow after faith. Who refers to them that way? Papigansaks.
Yeah, people who are beings who are Aryas, right?
Yeah, people, you know, Takpa means that's the way they talk with each other. You know, when Aryas get together, what they talk about, Takpa, well known to all of them, is that people who just follow whatever the teacher says and don't analyze it are by definition dull students. Okay, all right, all the Aryas know. Okay, but if you number chupa, here's your spelling, Utpala. It's your way and it's correct. Okay, but those who examine things with logic, with clear thinking, and decide the matter, ne, and by using clear thinking, come to a conclusion about what to long and what to door.
What to put down and what to pick, what to give up and what to
Nice.
to
Okay. Now that is critical thinking. Chupa. That is critical thinking. And that's what we want. Okay. People who use critical thinking to decide which spiritual practices to take up and which spiritual practices to give up, those guys are Cheki Jedong.
followers of Dharma.
Yeah, they're followers of the real Dharma. They don't follow after emotion. They follow after truth. Okay. All right. Who said that? Kepas. Well, how do Kepas feel about those people who follow after truth rather than following after emotion? They knock by them.
They praise.
They praise them. Nice. What word could you mistake for knock here?
For mantra, right?
Yeah, good. Mantra or tantric practice. Without the B, it means tantra. Okay. With the B, it means to praise somebody. Okay. Great, Adam. Great job. Let's go to the next part, and Dr. Kramer is going to check your pronunciation.
Deni kichir rikpe chopa flor lempa ni toke tsu ge tsu yimpe drowa dunyer la kowa mayeno shejawe de kitse la she den daki nawe ka bar chushi.
Okay. I want to state my note to myself here. Those who say throw yourself into examination with your thinking. Is that other one of the five sciences, actually? Okay. All right. So the opponent here, his position is Hlur Lemba means to really enjoy something and use it all the time, okay? Throw yourself into what? Examining reality with logic, okay? So those guys say, look, losing yourself in using logic all day is just toge. Toge means, useless disputation of Hindus, okay? In like that other major science, right? It's just arguing, nitpicking about stuff. Toge can have that pejorative connotation you should know, okay? In Buddhism, like Toge Barwa, the blaze of reasoning, it's a compliment. But sometimes toge is used as an insult to mean nitpicking, okay? So those people who say, and there's the bay in the second line, look, logic is just BS, people BSing each other all day, okay? Tua dunya la koa mayan. It's not koa for people who aspire to tulwa.
And it's not something they need.
Yeah, great. It's not a necessity for people who aspire to chowa, namdo.
Liberation.
Okay. Now, $200 for the last line. Take your time. It's open to anybody, even Dr. Smith. Take your time. Take your time. In fact, when I got to this line, I read it to Veronica because it was so cool.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, and you can break it down into pieces for me if you want to earn. How much did I say, Ellie? Did I say $200? 200?
$200.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you 40s or 50s if you give me pieces.
All right. Let's
By the
see.
way, Adam, this is going to the Ava College Fund. You know that, okay?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, here we go. Give me any pieces you know, and I'll give you corresponding pieces of the money.
Okay. Dukitsik, words of a demon.
Good. And the She Jawa is a quotation, right? Just a quotation mark from before.
Yeah. It's just like a quotation
These
indicator.
are words of a demon. Okay.
Lachey, den, so den possess.
Yeah, you can say shut up, Denver.
Have the awareness. Yeah. Those who have the intellect.
Good. I'll give you a clue for ch. Ch is the imperative of chipa.
So it's especially combined with the shape. It's definitely imperative.
Yeah, it's the imperative of chepa. Okay.
Yeah, you should close. You should stop listening.
Yeah, gut means to cover up. Gut means to cover up.
Okay, so close. You should close your ears.
Yeah, cover your ears with your palms, guys. Okay. Why? If somebody says you don't need logic because it's just BS, it's just some minor science, these are the words of a demon. And if you have a brain, please immediately cover your ears with your hands. Okay. That's Kidduday. Okay. I'd say that was a $150 answer. Okay. You got really.
Thanks for letting me slide on that one.
No, I'm giving you 3/4. Okay, $150. Yeah, so it's, who it sounds like? Who's it sound like? Nick.
Gelsup J.
Are you guardian?
It sounds like this arrogant Gelsup J thing to say. I think they were hanging out so much together they started talking like each other.
I wonder if Gelsup J picked up the pen and just kind of wrote that when Gelsup J wasn't looking.
Yeah. So what does Gelsup J say here? He says, look, if anyone comes and tells you you don't need logic to reach liberation, spiritual perfection, just please These are the worst stupid thing a person can say. And please, please, please plug your ears. Okay. All right.
Uh,
All right. You need clear thinking because if you have clear thinking, you can stop your misunderstanding. That's all. Okay. All right. To tie it to the last quotation. All right. Let's go, Adam. Nipa.
Ipa yogi ke par la te ke me ki lo to ka pani.
Yeah, this is the second part of his outline. Okay. And here's where he mentioned the three-part. Here's where he offered us the three parts. We have finished section 1, which is stopping the stupid idea that relative to the pursuit of liberation, logic is unneeded. Okay, got it? Now we're going to stop another wrong perception that there is no need for clear thinking relative to a certain feature of the object. We don't know what he's talking about yet. Relative to a certain feature of an object, logic is also useless. That's his second misperception that Kedub J is going to discuss. Here we go. Please read, Adam.
Chignare, deden gitenche deduction de shin de chiropa kaktam giche du nyewar kowa yimbe. Dedang mepe sa chok sun nyemba de pang semba. So chepa ni gopa me do sheser do.
Yeah, now, okay, well, we're going to come back to that, okay? We're going to come back to the second point. Yuki kieper la te, relative to a feature of the yul, okay? A logic is unnecessary. The study of logic is unnecessary. Relative to a particular feature of the yul, the study of logic is unnecessary. Now it's going to become clear. Somebody says, these tensions of the Dedun, what's that mean?
The text which comprise the seven,
Of Dharmakirti.
classical commentary, yeah.
The great 7 classics on logic by Dharmakirti, okay? The only time you need them, Nyewakoa, the only time you need them is in order to Gakpa Chiropas.
Is for the purpose of stopping non-Buddhists.
Yeah, and specifically early Hindu schools outlined in somebody's famous translation.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, if you're living in a sachok where Dedag me, where there's Chirupas me,
Yeah, if you're living in a place where there aren't any non-Buddhists.
yeah, there's no Sankyas running around, there's no Nyayakas running around. You know, if you're living in America and there's no Sankyas running around, okay, so there's no reason to Nyamba about logic, and there's no reason to Semba about logic.
Yeah, there's no reason to listen, and there's no reason to think about. There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason to listen to lectures about logic or think about them.
Okay. Therefore, we don't need them. We don't need the 7. They're not necessary anymore. There's no Sankyas running around Arizona or Colorado either, although there's probably more likely in Colorado. Just kidding. Now let's go back to the name of this section, and you're going to enlighten us.
Okay.
Relative to a keeper of the yule, there's no necessity for logic. These 7 books on logic. Relative to a keeper of the yule, there's no need for these 7 books of logic.
You got me. I'm still, for some reason, I'm drawing a blank.
Think of Yule as Desha, as in Bangladesh.
Well, Pai.
Relative to the details of the country where you live.
Yeah,
There
relative
may
to
or may
a
not be a need for-
particular feature.
Yeah.
What feature of the country you live in? Whether or
Yeah.
not you got Sankhya's running around. Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, cool. But to
Yeah.
tell you the truth, we couldn't have guessed that.
I was in left field.
You know, it could very well have meant features of the object of perception, right?
Mhm.
And we didn't know until we got to the commentary. Okay. Okay, Sheserto, he claims. Okay. And here's Kiribje's gentle response.
Mm,
Dr. Kramer, check his pronunciation. Find something wrong.
mm.
Dia Chung Spong.
That's right. That's definitely correct.
Lo Partope Chimpote.
Good.
Deyang. Sorry. Deyang.
I like it better your way.
Na chime be chir ke de la lang tor chepa de mepatang.
Okay, and yeah, okay. That's a log in itself. Okay, that idea is a log a big log. What's log?
Idea to be refuted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big bad idea. That's a big wrong idea. That if there's no Hindus running around who follow some Sankhya school or something else, that we don't need the 7 books on logic, because originally the 7 books on logic were meant to try to enlighten them. Okay, that's not only a lotok, that's a lotok of a very serious brand called Chipong.
Yeah. Oh, where you're giving up the Dharma.
Yeah, it's a very serious bad karma. It's like saying, you know, I studied for 5 years with Ben, and then I decided it was all BS, you know. And then that's Chipong. That's a famous bad karma. That's a super bad karma. Okay. Okay. That's a super bad karma. Okay. That's like saying there's no kewangachi. Therefore, I can do any dikpa I want to.
Yeah, there's no birth, aging, fitness, or death. I can do any bad deed I want.
Yeah, there's no past and future lives. Therefore, I don't have to try to do good deeds and give up bad deeds. Okay, because there's no future life. I can do whatever I want. That's the beer advertisement for $10.
Beer.
One life to live or something like that?
Yeah, you got it. $10 for the Amelie Scholarship Fund. $10. Yeah, I think it was Budweiser. They say 1 life to live. 1 life to live, you know, drink a 12-pack.
I just know from ACI course, whatever that was.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, I would offer you $10 to explain how I know about that.
ACI course 1. I think
Yeah,
you
but
are.
how did I know about it to even talk about it?
Watching baseball with
pronunciation.
Mama.
You were teaching
Baseball with
pronunciation.
my llama. Yeah, watching baseball with my llama. By the way, recently I watched Super Bowl highlights just to honor Ken Rinpoche. Okay. There was one really good run. All right. Now,
It's 3 minutes, Geshe-la, just so you know.
3 more minutes. Adam, he's going to give another example of a ridiculous similar idea. Here we go.
Tarpadang Tamche Kempa Mepe Te Drupe Chirlam Chirlamla Bepadan Mepadan.
Yeah, it's meaningless to make big efforts in the path since what? Tarpa me and Tamche Kempa me.
Because it's pointless to make because there's no omniscience and there's no liberation, no freedom.
Yeah, good.
Just saying. So yeah, it would be pointless to make efforts.
Yeah, nirvana by the way, when Tarpa is opposed to Tamje Kemba, you have to read it as nirvana, right? I mean, not literally, but you have to think of it that way. Okay. There's no such thing as getting rid of your anger forever. There's no such thing as directly perceiving every single event in the universe, past, present, and future at the same moment. Therefore, it's meaningless to make efforts in a path. Okay. Those two crazy statements are similar to the statement you just made about logic. Okay. Got it?
Yeah, it's
We have time, right, Nick? I got 2 more minutes.
Yes, sir.
Let's read, Adam.
okay. Pumbo Tangwa dan Dewa dan Tapa dan Dr. Tawa la sopa dron dot pa tang korpa dep be tam ta tam ching gopar chepa tam gepar shun didaki ten la bepa yimpe.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there, but here we go. We tend to overrate and we tend to underrate things when we look at the 4 misperceptions about our body and mind, where we take dirty things to be clean, where we take suffering things to be happiness, where we take impermanent things to last, and where we think that things without a self nature do have a self nature. We tend to either overestimate our condition in life, or we tend to underestimate our condition in life. All of these kinds of extreme positions can be stopped, okay, by relying on the very detailed method presented in these classics. What classics?
On logic, on Nyaya.
The 7 great books. Okay, the 7 great books. Okay, got it? Shingdi Dak, he uses the plural. These classics. He must be referring to the 7. Okay?
Yeah, I just talking
All
about
right.
that.
Yay.
We're at time, boss.
Yeah, and it's a good place to break it here. Okay. By the way, he's gonna, yeah, okay. He'll go. By the way, you guys can almost read this. It's not that difficult. Stop here. You could read this in a year or two, I think. 2/20/21.
A little bit of a hard time today.
Yeah, we all have hard times. Okay, give me some Japanese food.
Sashi puji jukshin metal drum rira blingshi ninde gimbadi sange shindu mite uwaji drokan nandak shingla drupar sho iram guru ratna mandala tamye yatayami gewadi ye kewo kun Sonam yeshe dzog dzog shi, sonam yeshe le jungwe, dampa kunyi topar shu.
Yay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Joshua.
Geshe-la, for another awesome day.
Ming Ten Jin. Ming Ten Jin.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Guys,
You
thanks
did a
for-
nice job. You did a nice job on the table of contents. That was awesome.